He lied about a $1 stock made millions and only served 22 months in jail. Then Hollywood turned his crimes into a blockbuster. This is the story of Jordan Belfort, the man who scammed America and got rich doing it all over again. And the wildest part, people still cheer for him. It all started in Bayside, Queens, 1962. A working-class neighborhood where dreams were modest. But one kid, Jordan Belfort, had no interest in ceilings. By the time he was 16, he'd already made 20 grand selling Italian ice sauce. Most teens would have blown it on a car. Jordan enrolled in dental school. First day, the dean said, "If you're here to get rich, you're in the wrong profession." Jordan stood up and walked out. Because he wasn't there to clean teeth, he was there to get rich. Next stop, meat. After college, Jordan launched a door-to-door meat and seafood business. It was messy, scrappy, but surprisingly successful, hitting $100,000 a month in sales. But with no real infrastructure, it all came crashing down. Late deliveries, spoiled meat, and unpaid invoices led to bankruptcy. But in the wreckage, Jordan found his superpower. He realized the product didn't matter. Steaks, surfboards, stocks. He could sell anything. The salesman was born. Jordan didn't need a better product. He needed a better payout. He landed an entry-level job at a legit Wall Street firm, LAFAN Rothschild. This was where he got his first taste of real money, real greed, and real power. He learned how the markets moved and how the brokers sold. But then, Black Monday hit in October 1987. The market crashed, and Jordan was fired. While others mourned, he saw an opportunity. He discovered penny stocks, pink sheet garbage. No serious broker would touch. But here's the magic. 50% commissions, same pitch, 10 times the reward. Jordan picked up the phone, called some poor guy in Nebraska, and sold him a dream about a tiny company with disruptive technology. He talked about a ground floor opportunity, a 10 times return, and a beach house in Maui. He didn't sell the company, he sold the upside. Who's like that? He closed $4,000 on a single call. No rules, no regulators, just pure adrenaline. He'd found his kingdom. In 1989, Jordan wasn't alone. He teamed up with Danny Perush, a fast-talking misfit who could close any deal. Together, they founded Stratton Oakmont. The name sounded prestigious. In reality, it was a boiler room in a strip mall with zero oversight. They didn't hire experienced analysts. They hired hungry bartenders and college dropouts. Jordan taught them his method. Straight-line persuasion, a psychological pressure cooker designed to turn anyone into a high-pressure selling machine. The office was electric. Phones rang non-stop. The money flowed. Stratton's brilliance wasn't just in how they sold, but who they sold to. Working-class retirees, desperate parents the people Wall Street ignored. They sold them hope. At first, it was obscure penny stocks. Then, the schemes got bigger. They'd buy massive blocks of cheap shares in turn the sales floor into a hype machine, drive the stock price up, and then dump everything at the top. It was a pump and dump. And at Stratton Oakmont, it was just another Tuesday. By the early 90s, the firm was a carnival. Screaming phones, $2,000 suits, and enough narcotics to kill a rhino. Top performers were treated like royalty. Underperformers were humiliated and replaced in ours. The parties were legendary. Strippers in the conference room, champagne overflowing into fax machines. Jordan had become a cult leader in an Armani suit. He bought a helicopter, a yacht named after his wife, mansions, and Lamborghinis. He preached one sermon. Success is everything, but under the surface, it was all smoke and mirrors. The IPOs were reckless. They pushed stocks with no revenue, no product, sometimes not even a working phone number, and hiding the money became a full-time job. Millions were funneled offshore through a web of shell companies, some in his aunt's name, some smuggled in cash sewn into a courier's bra. Jordan called it asset protection. The FBI called it laundering. Inside the firm, things were unraveling. Drug use became a necessity. Fights broke out. Jordan himself was spiraling. He crashed his Ferrari while high, with his 3-year-old daughter in the car. Then came the yacht incident. Drunk and high, he insisted on sailing into a storm. The yacht sank. He, his family, and $2 million in jewels and narcotics had to be rescued by the Italian Navy. He survived, but something inside him didn't. Back in New York, the walls were closing in. Journalists were poking around. Former employees were talking, but the biggest threat was Gregory Coleman, an FBI agent who smelled blood. He quietly pieced together a timeline, subpoenaed records, and tracked cash withdrawals. He knew what was happening. What Jordan didn't know was that some of his own brokers had flipped. They wore wires and turned over folders. In October 1996, federal agents raided Stratton, Oakmont. They seized everything. But Jordan still wasn't done. While under investigation, he wired $2 million to Switzerland. The transaction was traced. The conversation about it had been recorded. That single transfer unraveled everything. The chase was over. By late 1998, Belfort was out of moves, facing up to 30 years in prison for wire fraud, securities fraud, and money laundering. He did what he always did. He sold. He sold information. He flipped, cooperated, and wore a wire. One by one, he handed over his own people. Over 30 employees were indicted. Some served more time than he did. And Jordan, he got 22 months in a minimum security facility. He played tennis and wrote. His cellmate was Tommy Chong, who told him to write a book. In 2007, he published The Wolf of Wall Street. It wasn't a confession. It was a victory lap. The public loved it. Scorsese and DiCaprio turned it into a blockbuster. The man who lied to investors was now entertaining them. But the people he scammed didn't get movie deals. A teacher lost her retirement. A veteran lost his life savings. The court ordered Jordan to pay $110 million in restitution. To this day, only a fraction has been paid. The victims are still waiting, but Jordan is doing fine. He's a motivational speaker, a sales coach, a podcast host. He sells success and teaches ethics on stages around the world. He wears the name The Wolf like a badge of honor, not the scar it should be. He didn't just escape justice, he sold it. He turned 22 months into a book deal and fraud into fame. And maybe the scariest part is that we applaud. "I was guilty of being greedy," he once said. "But so is everybody else." Maybe that's why he got away with it, because deep down, maybe we never wanted him punished. We wanted to be him. Thanks for watching. If you found this story as wild as we did, make sure to like and subscribe for more deep dives. See you next time.